Hello everyone, my name is Tam from Grand Canyon University. Today's topic I want to talk about application of security principle. In this presentation, I'm gonna talk about 8 security failure in the remote workplace and then relate the security failure to the principle of cybersecurity. After that, I'm gonna talk about design principle that have been violated and make a recommendation on design principle for remote workplace. As we all know, the rise of remote work has created a new set of security challenges for organizations with a dispersed workforce and increasing use of personal device and cloud service. It is important to ensure that sensitive information and systems are protected. The purpose of this presentation is to examine the various security failures that organizations face in remote work environment and their implication for the principle of cybersecurity, particularly the CIA triad of confidentiality, integrity, and availability. We will also analyze the specific design principles that have been violated and the role they play in contributing to the security incident. So the first security failure in the remote workplace is weak or easily guessable password. In the remote work environment, this vulnerability can arise because remote workers may not have the same level of security measure and restriction in place as they would in a traditional office setting. So this making it easier for attackers to gain unauthorized access to the organizational resources. Next is lack of proper security software, such as the antivirus software, firewall, or intrusion detection system. This makes the device more vulnerable to malware or other security threats, for example, virus, phishing scam, and hacking attempt. It put the organization confidential information and intellectual property at risk. The next security failure is unsecure home network. This refers to the network in remote worker home that are not protected by proper security measures, for example, strong password and firewall. This can make the network vulnerable to hacking and putting sensitive information at risk. The next one is lack of access control. This refers to the absence of proper control and permission for accessing sensitive information. In remote work environment, this can result in remote worker having access to information that they should not have access to, increasing the risk of data breach. Next is phishing scam. Phishing scam are fraudulent email or website messages that appear to be from trustworthy sources, and they are used to steal sensitive information such as login credentials or credit card number. Remote workers may be more susceptible to phishing scams because they may not be as vigilant as they would be in the traditional office environment. Another one is the unsecure remote connection. Unsecure remote connection refer to the remote connection that are not protected by adequate security measures, such as encryption and authentication. This can make the connection vulnerable to hacking and other cyber attack, putting sensitive information at risk. Another security failure is lack of incident response planning. Organizations might not have proper incident response plan in place to handle security incidents that occur while employees are working remotely. Without a well-defined incident response plan, organizations may struggle to effectively respond to the security incident. Next is lack of employee training and awareness. Remote workers may not have received proper training on security best practice, so leaving them more vulnerable to cyber threat. This can result in them be, being more likely to make security mistakes. Before I relate the security failure to CA triad, I want to talk about what is it and how it's used. So the CA triad is used as a standard for evaluating and prioritizing the security measure and control necessary to protect information and system from potential security threat. Three core principles of information security is confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Confidentiality is sensitive information is kept private and only accessible to authorized individuals. Integrity is information is accurate, inconsistent, and unchanged from its original form. Availability is an authorized individual can access the information when they need it. So the security failure that I listed earlier can be related to the principle as follows. The failure related to the confidentiality is weak or easily guessable password, lack of access control, phishing scam, and unsecure remote connection. And the security failure related to the integrity is unsecure home network, and the security failure related to the availability is lack of proper security software and lack of incident response planning. And the last one, lack of employee training and awareness relate to all three principles of the CA triad. So the specific design principles that have been violated in the security failure that I listed earlier are the following. Weak or easily guessable password violate the principle of secure authentication because passwords are easy to guess and can be easily cracked by attacker. Lack of proper security software violate the principle of secure configuration because devices are not proper configured with the security software are more vulnerable to malware and other security threats. Unsecure home network violate the principle of secure network because unsecure network can be easily compromised by attacker. Lack of access control violates the principle of access control because without proper access control in place, remote workers might be able to access sensitive information that they should not have access to. Phishing scam violate the principle of secure communication because phishing scam can be used to steal login credentials or install malware on device, which can lead to unauthorized access to company resources. Unsecure remote connection violate the principle of secure network design because unsecure remote connection can be easily compromised by attacker. Lack of incident response planning violate the principle of incident management because without proper incident response planning in place, company may not be able to respond effectively to security incidents. Lack of employee training and awareness violate the principle of security awareness and training because without proper training on security best practice, employees may not be aware of how to protect company resources, which can lead to security breach. Lastly, the design principle that I recommend for remote workplace. The first one is secure authentication. So the remote worker should be provided with a strong and unique password, and two-factor authentication should be implemented where possible. Next is secure configuration. The remote worker's device should be configured with security software and updated regularly to prevent malware and other security threats. Next is secure the network design. Remote workers should be provided with the VPN to secure remote connection, and their home network should be secure with firewall and other security measures. Next one is access control. Remote workers should only have access to the resources and information that they need to perform their job function. So the next design principle is secure communication, and the remote worker should be trained to identify and avoid phishing scam. And secure communication method, for example, encrypted email and messaging, should be implemented. Next is incident management. All organizations should have incident response plan in place and regularly test them to ensure they are effective. Security awareness and training. So employees should be trained on security best practice and regularly remind of the importance of security. Next one is regularly monitoring and audit. Organizations should monitor remote worker activity and perform regular audits to ensure compliance with security policy and identify security vulnerability. The last one I would recommend is security protocols. So security protocols should be in place to protect sensitive data and information such as encryption, data leak prevention, and data loss prevention. So implement the design principle can help organizations create a secure remote working environment that protect all company resources and sensitive information from cyber threat. In summary, all these security failures are relevant to remote work environment, from weak password to unsecure remote connection. The issue can lead to data breach, theft of sensitive information, and other security incidents. So to mitigate the risk, it is important for organizations to have proper security measures in place, for example, strong password, access control, and incident response plan. And also, companies have to providing employee training and awareness on best practice for cybersecurity. So this is the end of my video. Thank you for listening and have a great day.